Hey YouTube, it is me, Nikki Z, and I'm not trying to be rude, but I do have a cough drop in my mouth right now, and I'm hoping I feel better very soon. I wanted to share with you guys a look I did. I couldn't have gotten more sick at the worst time because I was so excited about these palettes. Ain't nobody got time to sit around and do absolutely nothing because they feel crappy. That's just terrible. This is the Nude palette from e.l.f. And you guys have got to see this. Alright, this is... I dropped it, sadly. Everything's fine though. It held up. So, just to give you guys a quick look at the palette itself. And this is true to color. So you guys are actually seeing what you'd be getting if you purchased it. It is beautiful. I absolutely love this thing. And I did this really pretty look. Guys, this was very simple. It was very easy. It didn't take that long at all. So yeah, I want to go ahead and share how I got this look with you guys. And because I'm not feeling well, if you guys want to leave a little comment, if you guys have a question, concern, or request, yeah, that would make me feel awesome. It would give me something to do whenever I feel better. I'd greatly appreciate, any feedback whatsoever from you guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and get in and show you guys how I got this look. And yeah, so if you want to like and subscribe, that'd be awesome. If not, no big deal. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day. Alright, so the very first thing I'm going to do is prime my eyes using the e.l.f. Mineral Eyeshadow Primer, and this is, I believe, the shade Sheer. So I'm going to go ahead and just apply that to my entire eyelid, all the way up to my brow bone, and then I'm going to let that dry. So I'm going to let that do its thing and dry for just maybe a minute before I apply anything else. Next, I'm going to take a MAC Pro Longwear paint pot. This is the shade Stormy Pink. It's a very mauvey pink shade. I will be applying this as a base only to my eyelid, so I will not be putting it in my crease. I will just be patting it onto my actual eyelid, just to help the shimmery shade show up a little bit better. And then of course I will be letting that dry before I do anything else with my eye. Next, I will be grabbing a shade from the e.l.f. Nude palette, and the shade that I'll be using is, well, there's no names, but it is this light pink matte shade here. And I'm going to go ahead and apply that into my crease. It's going to work as a really nice transition shade. So I will be blending it upwards and outwards, of course. Next, I'm going to go ahead and grab another shade from this palette to apply into my crease. And it is a matte dark brown shade right here. I will be starting on the outer edge of my eye and blending a little bit inwards as I go. So that way most of the product will be on the outer edge of my eye. Next, I'm going to grab a shade from this palette. It is a very pretty, it reminds me of Stila's Kitten. It's a light pinky champagne shimmer shade. And I'm going to apply this to the very inner corner of my eyelid. I will be stopping at the crease, of course, and I'm bringing it about halfway across my eye. What I'll be doing next is taking another shade that's a shimmery pink right here. It's a little bit more of a dusty rose color, And I'm going to apply that right next to where I applied that shimmery champagne shade. And I'll be stopping about, I'm going to leave a little bit of area on the very edge, of course, to apply another shade altogether. Now make sure you blend them very well. I'm just kind of patting them back and forth to get the desired level of blend. Now for the very outer edge of my eyelid, I will be using a shade here. It's kind of like a coppery color, so it's like a copper gold. And I will be applying that just to the outer edge of my eyelid. Again, stopping at the crease. This is a very, very pretty shade. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and grab a little bit more of a dark shade. I'm gonna be working on my crease yet again. For that, I'm gonna use that deep dark brown we used a little bit ago. And I will be applying it, of course, to the crease. And then I'm going to work on the outer V. For that, I'm going to use this really, really dark brown shade right here that's matte. It's the darkest shade in the palette. And I will be putting that on the outer edge of the crease as well as the outer part of the eyelid. Now just to step it up a notch, there is a dark brown shimmery shade in this palette, and it's right next to the deepest shade. So I'm going to grab that and again put that in the outer V. And then I'm just going to kind of, with whatever is left on the brush, just kind of blend it into that crease a bit for a little bit more dimension. Now I'm going to take a blending brush, just a fluffy one. I'm going to soften that edge a bit before I apply that highlight. And this is a great chance to make sure you've got everything how you want it and that everything's even, of course. I wanted to touch something up real fast. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to take a shade to use as a highlight. For that, I am using the lightest shade in this palette, and it is matte. It's almost like a linen cream color. A very, very nice off-white shade, and it's extremely pigmented, so I hope you guys can see that, but yeah, it is beautiful. So I'm going to pat that on, and then of course I'm going to be blending that in with another brush. I'm going to be using that big fluffy brush that I used before, just to kind of bring a little bit of that into that dark shade that we applied on our crease. That is super, super pretty. And just keep blending where the two meet until you are satisfied with the outcome. Go ahead and use a bigger brush to blend it out a little bit better. Okay, so that's kind of the look. All right, what I'm going to go ahead and do next is take a goldish or a copper eyeliner. The one I'm using is from Urban Decay. It's a 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in Lucky. And I will be applying that to right underneath my lower lash line. Like that. And I stopped about halfway across. I'm going to go ahead and take just a small brush to kind of blend that a bit. So I will be smoking that out. Now I'm going to use some shades from the palette to apply right on top of that eyeliner that we just laid down. I'm going to go ahead and use that bright coppery color that we applied on the outer edge. I'm going to go ahead and bring that from almost the very edge, and I'm going to smudge it inwards. Now I'm also going to grab another shade. It's going to be that dark shimmery brown right here. I'm going to grab a little bit of that and apply that just to the outer edge as well, that lower lash line area, for a little bit more definition. Alright, and then I'm going to line my upper lash line. I don't normally do that on camera because I do have a habit of messing up and it's kind of a pain. So I will be right back with that. Okay, so now what I'm going to go ahead and do, since I went ahead and lined my upper lash line, I use the e.l.f. Intense Ink eyeliner. This is one of my go-tos, so I really, really enjoy that product quite a bit. I'm going to go ahead and apply some mascara. For that, I'll be using the e.l.f. Mineral Infused Mascara. My throat is not being happy right now, so I apologize, guys. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and apply a blush from NARS. This is the shade Madly. It's kind of like a beigey pink color. Alright. And next I'm going to go ahead and use the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette. I'm going to be using the shade Dim Light. So I'm going to grab a little bit of that and just apply it to the top of my cheekbones. My forehead, chin, Cupid's bow. And next I'm going to be applying lipstick. Now my lips are super chapped, as you can see. They look terrible right now, and it's, yeah, I live by a really, really busy street, so I'm sorry, guys. Anytime I'm sick, like, my lips and my nose are usually like the first to be, I don't know, crappy looking. My nose is fine, it's just I have a sore throat. So with that being said, what I'm going to do is let me find a, and this is a little tip anyone can do if I can find it. Don't give up on me yet, guys. Here it is. Okay. I have here the e.l.f. HD or e.l.f. Under Eye Hydrating Primer, whatever, like the name of it had worn off. I'm going to be applying this to my lips first, just to help kind of soften the skin, and it's also going to work as a primer as well for my lips. I would suggest exfoliating your lips and using this as well on your lips if you have really, really chapped lips and you're wanting to wear like a matte lipstick. It really helps with the appearance and the feel as well. Now I'm going to be using a shade of lipstick here. This is from MAC. It's a Satin, and it's in the shade Mocha, which is kind of like a tawny brown. I'm going to use it obviously because I'm sick. I'm not even going to use lip liner. I'm going to skip that stuff because obviously it's around my mouth and I don't want to contaminate everything. I'm going to use a lip brush. Let's see here. Let me find one. There we go. Alright, I'm going to use a lip brush. And I'm going to go ahead and apply that lipstick. And I'm getting quite a bit on my brush just because I don't want to dip back into it. So when I grab the product, I'm like, that's it. Okay. So I went ahead and coated the front and back of the brush. Again, you know, if you're sick, you don't want to drag germs from like your lipstick. You don't want to contaminate that stuff. So that's why I'm using a brush, and this brush will actually be sterilized. I do have a sterilizing kit, so. Here's the look. It's pretty basic, guys. Nothing too fancy. I kind of feel like maybe I overdrew the lips a little bit with the brush, but I was using a brush. I didn't want to get, pardon me, see? I didn't want to get myself sick later on. So, yes. This is the completed look. I hope you guys have enjoyed the tutorial. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, you guys know how to reach me, of course. And just a few brief words about this palette. Woo! It is great. It is a very, very good palette. I love it. It's so nice, guys. I cannot wait to actually take pictures and swatch and all that fun stuff. There's still some sunlight outside. I might do that today. I meant to do it yesterday, but I wasn't feeling well, so I was like, oh, I don't really want to touch it too much. But yeah, so this is the finished look. Of course, if you guys want to like my video, subscribe, that would be great, so you guys could see what I'm going to be doing next. And I have another palette that's the smoky, it's like the Everyday Smoky palette from e.l.f. that they just came out with. So I will be using that one next. Also, they just released an Ambient palette, which is a highlighter palette. Yeah, e.l.f. did. I'm so excited. I am definitely ordering that actually here in like a day or two, so I'm really excited. I may just pick it up at the store if they have it, but I don't think it's at the store yet. But anyways, thank you guys again for watching, and if you guys want to leave any like comments, messages, you know, I don't feel well, so I think that would make me feel a lot better. If you guys would just like leave a little note, a little message to me, that'd be really cool. Yeah. Alright, thanks guys. You guys have a great day.